I don't think that it's a stretch to say that Billie Jean King is the single most important person in the history of women's sports.
She's been the biggest influence in my life outside my family.
She wanted more for not only women in sports, to give them an opportunity to come and play on equal terms, but also the way we guys look at women now in the boardroom.
We honor what she calls all of the off-the-court stuff, and to give everyone, regardless of gender or sexual orientation, including my two daughters, a chance to compete both on the court and in life.
Along with her being so revolutionary, she's so important to me because I wouldn't be able to play on the WTA Tour without her.
I think I was 14 years old when Billie Jean King played Bobby Riggs. I was a 14-year-old male chauvinist, little kid, hoping that Bobby Riggs would kick Billie Jean King's ass. But now that I'm the father of 4 beautiful girls, I just want to say for the record right now that I am very happy that Billie Jean King won.
What I admire most about Billie is what she didn't just do for tennis, but what she did for all females just across the board.
She has probably done more than any woman in the world to empower women and to educate men. She's helped to educate us all by empowering members of the GLBT community. If you have the heart of a champion, if you have the heart of Billie Jean King, you can belong, you can prevail.
Tennis star Billie Jean King was a trailblazer for women in sports. She was the first female athlete to win prize money in excess of $100,000 in a single year, and her organizational efforts helped put the women's professional tennis tour in the mainstream of American sports. With a gritty and athletic style of play, Billie Jean King captured dozens of Grand Slam titles, including 20 Wimbledon championships.
Billie Jean King, how did September 20th, 1973 change you and change attitudes in this country?
Oh, boy.
In 1973, she was challenged to a battle of the sexes by 55-year-old Bobby Riggs, himself an ex-Wimbledon champion.
The past champion hit upon a unique way to cut himself in on the action. Challenge the women. Make it about anything but the money. Make it about the superior gender.
The male is king, the male is supreme. I've said it over and over again. I still feel that way.
And so began Bobby Riggs's best hustle. Billie Jean King won in 3 straight sets.
King triumphed over the self-proclaimed male chauvinist pig Bobby Riggs,
striking yet another blow for equality in athletics.
Everybody won from that, except Bobby. And yet he won too, because he helped make a difference. It was very visual, had a large impact, had a very big impact on people. And I think the visual part, it's not like reading a book, it's not just thinking from the neck up, it's really using the total body. It was prime television, primetime television on ABC, 8 o'clock at night Central Time. It was in Houston at the Astrodome, and for a tennis match over 30,000 people, but it was millions of people that watched it on television.
It remains the most watched tennis match ever. 50 million viewers. The King, the stakes were far greater.
I knew it was going to touch the emotions of people, and it did. Whew. It was, it got pretty heated. I would think every single day of my life somebody brings it up on where they were, what they remember, how it affected them. Some people come up to me and they'll be crying and tell me their story. I've heard so many stories you would not believe. Both boys and girls should have equal rights and opportunities, and when I hear that I go, wow. It's like one match did that, but it did. It shifted their way of thinking. It's interesting because people will come up to me and say, thank you what you've done for women's tennis. I don't ever think of myself just helping women's tennis. I think of myself as helping tennis. But when you're a woman, usually people will say what you've done for women. When you're a guy, you've done it for everybody. It's very interesting. We've got to change that, because people should realize that when one person changes, man or woman, it changes both genders. It affects everybody. When you move the domino one bit, whether you're a man or a woman, doesn't matter. It changes both genders. And that's what people haven't thought through very well yet. It's about history. It's about changing the way the world thinks.
Is it important to have that history?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's my future, and she started it.